I am recording. All right, guys, I want to welcome everybody to our Sunday night training. What I'm going to go ahead and do is just have you guys to mark this on just put this in your calendar, because typically what I want to do is that at the beginning of the week, I want to do like a recap of things that we saw, learned, that was good, wasn't so great, so that we can go into the new week with better, information to help our trading experience to be a little bit better. So for those of you who are brand new, I know I had a few people that came in and joined the team over the weekend. I got many of you who've joined us last week and you're kind of new. I want to welcome you guys to our TFU movement community. Basically, our whole goal is, guys, we have a system that was put together that allows us to trade, well, I like to say, with symbols, colors, lines, and arrows. That's pretty much how we're trading. Yes, there are a lot more things that you can learn from trading, but really my whole goal was to make trading simple. Let me say again, this is not the only way to trade, but I found it to be a simpler way for me to be profitable in the market. I was able to put together a system we call the thumbs up, thumbs down system. Literally, we're using thumbs to make our decision on whether we enter a trade or not. We use thumbs to tell us when to exit a trade and other different things. So this has been around for about a few months, has definitely caught a lot of steam, a lot of waves, and a lot of excitement. People experience a lot of success. People have experienced failure because nothing is guaranteed in trading, but we do learn from it each time that we are trading. I will definitely say the system has more of the upside of winning trades than it does on the downside. It's just more so of just understanding when is the best time to take these trades. So once we had the manual service put together, we put together another system because we have a lot of working people, busy people, people who just don't have time to get into the market when it's the best time. So let me go ahead and click mute real quick, guys. All right. And most people are not able to get into the market at the best time of the day, due to sleep, work, whatever it may be. So we created the TFU assistant. Basically, guys, what the assistant is, it is to assist you when you are not able to trade. It is not to totally trade for you so you don't trade at all. You really want to continue to learn and improve your skill on trading. There's always a wealth of knowledge to do that, but this just gives you an option, an audible, to be able to decide whether or not a trade is something that's worth getting into. So what we're going to spend our time on tonight is talking about the assistant and how to best put the settings for the assistant. The assistant is about, I would say, 90% ready. We have one more piece we need to put in there. But what I'm gonna share with you guys, you're able to use with the current latest update. I think some of the new people, I got to make sure I switch out the latest assistant indicator so that when you are brand new and I send you the whole package, you're getting the latest update. So I'm gonna make a note of that to make sure that I send that out to everyone. So if you do not have the latest update, I'm going to post it in the room again. If someone can do that, you can just pull it out of the file and just post it. If you already have it, just repost it into the room, the latest version of the TFU assistant. And because it has some features that are very important to the consistency of this system. Now, I traded the assistant 4 out of the 5 days last week, and I end up winning with the assistant 3 out of the 4 days. The day that I lost with the assistant was Friday, this Friday that came up. I don't know what G20 was, but it was doing some G spanking on the assistant. And I'm always, we were told, I'm just hard headed. We were told by the programmers it's probably best not to trade the assistant on a Friday because the Friday market is so unpredictable. The market makers are doing what they need to do to capture all of the money that people made during the week. So Friday, whatever you think is going to work, typically will not. So I will try to practice what I preach, and that is try to not use the assistant on Fridays. He said typically Monday is not that great because the market is opening up, it's getting settled, it's trying to figure out the direction. So a lot of times you don't even want to use a Monday. So really maybe turning this assistant to a 3-day trading assistant, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, where it gives you the best times, the best market moves. Most traders, that's all they really trade. They make all of their fortune typically Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And every blue moon, they'll attempt to trade during the on a Friday or on a Monday. Most of the time, they're definitely scalping the market, but no one is really trading it full out. So with that being said, let me share my screen here. I'm gonna pull up the demo account that I am using for the assistant here so I can share with you guys what's going on. All right, hold on for a second. All right, do y'all see my screen? I don't know what I see.
Yeah, what's it?
Is that a yes? Hold on for a second. I just need to make sure y'all looking at the right screen. Hold on. Yes, that was the right screen. All right. So here is one of the pairs that I trade. So if anybody want to know, always asking me what pairs do I trade? I trade all of the GBPs on with the assistant. I'm a GBP trader. If I'm scalping, I am a GBP trader across the board. I've definitely seen that the Euro pairs could be definitely beneficial as well. I think any pairs can be beneficial, but I just believe that all pairs are not created equal. All right. Let me say that again. All pairs are not created equal. So therefore, some pairs definitely will give you what you're looking for quicker than others, and some will take forever, but they will eventually get there. I just choose to trade the GBP pairs, and hopefully you guys will decide which pairs are best for you. And ultimately, guys, is to get to a point where you are learning something. Don't 100% depend on the assistant and you literally don't know anything about trading. You literally don't even know how to take a trade, but you want the assistant to work. Because if there's some enhancements that you need to do, like knowing when to stop losses and take profits and different basic stuff in trading, and you don't know any of that, all you know about is turning the assistant on and have her trade for you, you're going to be frustrated in the long run. So hopefully you will definitely get some basic training out the way to get you to a point where you can do that. So, all right, let's talk about this assistant. This is GBP Audi. And again, we're not looking to see what she's going to do because, again, it's Sunday. So the market is, the market. So it's not the best optimal time to be trading. But what I do want to do is I want you guys to know what the settings that I am using for my trades. All right, so let me bring that up real quick and break it down for you guys. And like again, this will be recorded and posted. So here are, yes, these are the settings that I am using. All right. Of course, you guys decide what you're lot size is going to be here. Okay, you're not using the percentage or of your account, so you're using, this will be false. The trades that I use far as my take profit is 25 pips. I'm looking for the assistant to get me 25 pips. I'm not trying to go long. I'm not trying to break the bank. I'm not trying to go from the low of the day to the high of the day. I want this assistant to potentially look to grab me 25 pips of profit in this trading day. If it does, I want it to take my 25 pips of profit and I'm good. So I don't put a trailing stop. I don't do a beginning trail. Of course, allow the new orders to open. True. This is a demo that I've got this in, so I have it false. Because you have a live account, you need to put true here. My stop loss is you can let it range 25, 30 pips. You can go 25, so you can put 25 pips here, which would be in points. That's 250 points. If you use GN as one of your pairs that you're trading with GBP, you might want to go a little higher on your stop loss just because it moves a little crazier than most. Sometimes even GA. So you could play with this stop loss. I'm typically anywhere between 250 points, which is 25 pips, or I am at 300 points, which is at about 30 pips. I don't do the one-time move. You can do that. You can do the one-time move, but what we found that I saw was if you make the one-time move and you have the little trail, in the hour window, it's going to grab that trail. Most of the time, anything less than 20 pip trail, it is going to grab that trail unless you just caught that market moving. So I'm at a point where I just want it to, I'm going to win this trade or I'm going to lose this trade with the assistant. So I want it to get 25 pips. I give it 25 pips. So I'm at a 1-to-1 ratio here. All right. The max spread, you can put that however you want to, depending on the pair that you're trading. Because I'm trading also GN sometimes, I just make my spread max at 50, which is 5.0. All right. Now, here's where it gets real interesting. Currently, right now, after we've added this one extra feature in, there might be a little enhancement here. Use bar currently being built. What that simply means is if there is a trade, let's say this is the candle that the bar is being built on. If you want it to be activated or triggered into your trade to start that trade, if the conditions are met, it will do it on the opening of this candle. If you say true, if the conditions are met and this candle created, let's say you were doing a triple play, which is your semaphore, something's about to happen and you have your thumbs up. As soon as the last condition is triggered, I mean, if this thumbs up flash, if the thumbs up just appears and it's the last condition of the 3 conditions you have set, while this candle is still moving, that's what is considered a use bar being currently built, meaning this candle is still being built, so it will activate the trade. If you say false, then it will wait for this candle to close. And if your thumbs up closes, with the thumbs up and all 3 conditions are met, then it will trigger you in. If this somehow the thumbs disappear before this candle closes or by this time this candle closes, then those conditions for that particular candle is not going to trigger you into the trade. It's not going to look to see if the next candle gives you the conditions at the close of the candle. So that's the difference between use the bar being currently being built versus use the bar, true or false. Okay. The next one is equally important because now this is asking you the number of candles to check to see if the criteria that you have set to trigger the trade or exit the trade, how many candles you want it to use to look out to make that decision. That's basically what it's saying. How many candles you want us to look at. So let's say, for instance, if you're doing triple play, I'm still going to stick with the triple play. Let's say your triple play was your setup. You have the semaphore right here. So starting with this candle here, if you say the number of candles to check for all criteria is 5, it's going to allow 1. So the candle is started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is your 5th candle right here. If this candle, once it closed, does not give you the 3 conditions that it needs to trigger this trade, if you're doing a triple play, when the 6th candle open, this whole setup is done because it has looked out as far as it's going that you told it to look out to get that setup. Now, sometimes 5 can be a little bit too many, but when you're in a higher time frame, it actually can be beneficial. I want to say do at least between 3 to 5 candles, no more than 5, to look to see if those conditions are going to be met. So that's what the number of candles to check. And it always starts from the first condition. So if the semaphore was one of the conditions, then that's the first one. Boom, this candle is the first condition. Then it's going to give a total of 5 candles to fill in the rest of the conditions to activate that trade if it's going to be a trade that will be activated. All right. The next one is basically your criterias. What do you want it to do to enter you in the trade? Well, option 1 is use the CMA. Simply, that is the money line. All right. This is for exit purposes. So we'll get to the entry here in a minute, but this is for exit. So your exit conditions can be money line. When it shows the money line, because I have it as open, use the bar currently being open. So if the money line flashes and shows, one of the conditions to exit, okay, that's one of the conditions that I'm want it to use to exit. Then the next one is, of course, the opposite thumbs. We're in a buy, so the next condition it needs to see is the thumbs down. So if it flashes, or it shows, that will be condition 2, and then the last condition will be the semaphore. So typically they all is, and I know the question is, well, if they all flash and disappear one after each other, will it do that? It has to do it within the candle time frame, and most likely one of these conditions are going to hold. The only one that's going to flash is the last condition that it needs for it to kill the trade. So if the semaphore was the first condition and it held and closed, but it's not going to kill you after the trade yet, your next condition would be the money line. It went down, and the last one, and money line is still showing as say a sale. The last thing that it needs to see, and it doesn't have to close because you're using bar open, if a thumbs down just appears after the other 2 conditions are there, it will kill you out of this trade. And so this would be the exit conditions for that trade. So what you want to put here is you have to use the word and. So if you use more than one condition, you don't want to use or, you use and, because you want all of these conditions to be what causes this trade to exit, to close. All right. Always use trend, trade with the trend. Remember, we were using this moving 50, but in the higher time frame, I'm saying false, because of what we're going to be using or how we're going to be using this. If you decide to do it, you can do it however you want to. I'm just going to share with you how I'm trading the assistant. So I have the trend as false. Now, the entry conditions are basically two conditions because the other two conditions are foundational. We never take a trade without the what? The money line and the thumbs, whether it's up or down, depending on if we're in a buy or a sell. So I don't have to put this as a true false because no trade will be entered without those two elements. So that's automatic. But if you wanted to add entry conditions, it would be, hey, do you want to use the semaphore as one of your added entry conditions? I have true. Do you want to use the something's about to happen or the 1-2 cross arrows as a form of entry? I said false. Here's the reason why I said false. And that will be because, hold on for a second. I got somebody that got out of the mute. All right, mute them back. And the reason why I said false is because your something about to happen arrows are delay arrows. When you're in a higher time frame, it's a big difference than trading this in the lower time frame. You don't need the something about to happen arrow as much as you do in the 1 hour window as you would in the 5 minute window or the 15-minute window, just because of the movement of those candles. So that's why many have seen it extremely beneficial to use the assistant in the higher time frame. The success rate has been a lot higher because you don't have to have all those conditions. Remember, this 1-2 is delayed. So you may get a big long candle like this. Let's say this big old long candle right here is the something's about to happen arrow. And let's say your thumbs was right here and you was going to use this as an entry. This is a lot of pips that you gave up waiting for this something about to happen arrow to happen so that you can put you in the trade. So we found that 3 of the 4 conditions have been really, really good. So here are those conditions for entering the trade. 1, money line, always. 2, thumbs up, definitely. They go they hand in hand. The other condition that I use to trigger me into the trade is the semaphore. So it's almost like a hybrid version of the double play because you know the money line and the thumbs go together. So that could be considered as 1, and this is 2. If you want to separate them, it could be the hybrid version of the triple play. Money line plus the thumbs up plus the semaphore. When all of those conditions are there, if the last condition is the thumb, as soon as this thumb flashes, boom, put me in the trade. Because you want to catch the candle that the thumb is running on, because that could be 50% of the pips that you're looking for. Sometimes you don't want to wait in the higher time frame for the candle to close, because again, this could be the candle that you catch a lot of your pips. And then by the time this candle closes, you know, most of the time the candle opens up and it does what? A pullback. So again, I will be posting this up. This is the official setup that I am currently using right now with the assistant. The only thing that we will be adding in addition to this will be the option for the exit condition, because we can have what is called use the bar currently being built to enter, but you can use the bar being built to be false on the close, so you can capture potentially, you know, more pips, or, you know, sometimes when the thumb flashes, it could put you in the trade and then take you out. But what we have noticed is that when you combine it with the thumbs and the money line, or not the thumbs, with the thumbs and the semaphore, it actually has been much more beneficial to use these two for entry and for exit. So what I want to do is pause right here. And so there's a trade right now, USD. Let's go look at that trade, guys. Let me close this real quick. This is demo. Of course, if this was live, this would be a very good trade. Why? Here's the take profit right there. Y'all see it right here. Stop loss was at 30 pips. You can do 30 or 25. Take profit is at 30 which you can bring that down, which is normally supposed to be 25. So if you make it 25, let's see here, right there. Hold on, come on down. So when you set it, I must have pushed it up some more. We're at 19.6 pips. I did not take this trade. And I also have it running on my live account. But this is the demo, and I did not take this trade. Let's see what GJ is doing. GJ is still a little bit negative. Trade was entered right here. It pulled back, and it's trying to now do its move. I like the way it's set up. Why? Because here is your triple play that happened here. Your semaphore, thumbs up, something's about to happen, but we don't even use the something about to happen in a higher time frame. We're just using the semaphore and the thumb. So if this was set the way I thought I had it set, this trade would have been triggered right here. But I had to modify it, and it took the trade up here. So if this trade was here, when this, here's a prime, this is a really good example. Here's how this trade would have been taken. Semaphore, check. Thumbs up when the market opened. So you know it did a little, it did a little spiky spike, and whatever it's supposed to do came down. But GJ didn't do it like the rest of them did. So it would have, let's just say, for instance, the thumbs showed up right here. You would have been in this trade right here. Let me draw this line here. According to the settings that I just gave you, you would have entered this trade right here. Your stop loss would have been 25, 30 pips, so it would have been somewhere down in here. So it would have not gotten hit because why? It came down first, then went up and gave you your condition. So you're good on that, and your take profit would have been 25 pips, which you would be right pretty much at take profit almost right now. This candle here would have gave you pretty much that take profit. Yep, 25 pips. This trade would have closed out. You'd had 25 pips of profit, boom, with the assistant. All right, that's basically how it works. Same thing with GU. GU actually did do it. Maybe this actually didn't show up to up here in this area. It opened up right here. Stop loss here, take profit here, and it is almost at take profit. And it's 27 minutes left. We're at 20 pips, 27 minutes left into this trade, and she is moving. I think GJ, because I'm looking at my personal account. Yep. Oh, yeah. Nice. GJ is doing good. GU is doing good. Let's see what Adi's doing. Adi is a little slow. It actually, Adi kind of made me mad a little bit. I was playing with, here's another thing. I will say this, I'm glad this is on the recording. Don't play with your settings, because I thought I had the settings correct, but apparently I didn't. And this trade actually put me in under some different settings that actually end up being really good, but it wasn't the settings that I wanted to use. So, it was good, but then it didn't turn out. It kind of went the other way. Let's see here. GCAD, nope. GN, nope. So right now you got GJ and you got GU, which is almost at take profit right now. So what I want to do is open it up for any questions, because what we're going to talk about is the assistant and what questions you guys possibly may have with the assistant. Please unlock if you have a question. Let me go ahead. While y'all doing that, I got to secure some profit. Thank you very much.
Hey, Stan, this is Robert.
Hey, Robert.
I know you got a lot of emails to get to about keys and all that. But the one question I got about that is when I want to do the adjustments on mine to set it up with the new updates, it told me my validation, my key had expired. It expired on the 2nd, which was today. But on the email that you sent me with the updated key, it told me that email said that it expires on the 13th of December.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an easy fix.
Well,
I can
that's
fix that. Yeah,
yeah.
I can fix that.
I can't set nothing up until I get those keys done and then put them in there. So that's what I was trying to
Yeah,
do.
I'll
But
be up pretty late tonight, so I'll make sure that everyone that has that particular issue, we can fix that pretty quick.
okay.
All right. Anybody else? Any questions on the assistant?
With the combined exit criteria, it was the and, or you changed it to and, correct?
Yeah, let me pull it back up again.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, so my exit condition is all three: money line, thumbs, and the semaphore. I wanted to exit the trade. And see, again, this is why you got to make sure you check your settings. Let me save that because it's supposed
Save it. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
and not or.
Cool.
All right. So yeah, and then I'm not trading with the trend. My entry is using the semaphore and the thumbs up with the money line. That's my entry conditions.
Hey, Stan, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you're using the 1 hour, right?
That is correct.
And what's your recommendation, or is there a preference of how many pairs to run the assistant on?
That depends on your account. You can have 5 up there, but you can't use big lot sizes. If you have multiple accounts, you've got to lower your lot size so that your account can survive having multiple trades going at the same time.
So
I definitely believe it's beneficial. Huh?
Would you rather have a higher lot size and fewer pairs running the assistant?
Well, again, you may have sometimes the one pair that you think will run great won't run great. So it varies. I do it based on my account, and I do it based on my my lot size. I change my lot size, I adjust it based on that. I would say from the beginning, this is just my input and advice, start off with at least 2, no more than 3 pairs. 5, I think, is excessive. It looks good when they're all in profit, but it's like disgusting when they're all in just a little bit of negative. Like they all was in 10 pips negative, you 50 pips in the hole. So you have to have that adjustment, the good with the bad, when you're doing this.
Right.
So
okay, thank you.
I think she's definitely about to take profit. So we're gonna watch that do that. But any other questions?
Stan.
I heard a lady first.
Hey, Stan, real quick, thank you. Can you just go over the time frames for me again? Because I don't know why.
As far as time, when you say time frames in what regard?
I'm talking about right here on the assistant. What does 1 o'clock represent?
Oh, good. Okay, these are chart times, y'all. So when you see chart times, all you do is you use the charts that's on your MT4. So this 1 o'clock simply means my time, because I'm central, this would be considered like 6 o'clock, my time.
6 p.m.?
6 p.m. my time, yes. And maybe 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. But how you want to find it out is you just say, when do I want this to start? This would be the 2 o'clock. I typically want the assistant to start looking for trades around 6 o'clock my time. And look for those setups to take, so to see if they are beneficial to, get those trades.
And then 2300 is what, the next day?
Yeah. Now, good point. I'm glad you brought that up. What I am doing, and I want y'all to pay attention to this. This is what I'm doing. And on Sunday, all right? So let's say, for instance, I typically won't trade on Sunday. So I'm doing this for example purposes right now. And let's say, for instance, my start day is on a Monday. So my first day that the trade for the assistant to start looking for trades would be like, say, the 8 o'clock candle. So that for me is midnight Central Time, looking to for the pre-London. So I would make this 8 o'clock, and I will leave this at 23. Actually, Let me rephrase that. Let me pump my brakes. What I will do is leave this at 1. And what I'm going to do after midnight, or probably when we get off of here, I'm going to literally turn this use time restriction as false. Here's the reason why I'm going to make it false. Because I am going to let the assistant run. This is me. I'm going to let the assistant run from Monday, late Monday, going into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I'm going to turn it off because I want to see what the assistant does from all those days. You do not have to do that. You can set it for when you want it to start, and you can set it for when you want it to end. What I like to do sometimes is a little combination, and that would be, have you guys heard of call levels? Say, for instance, we have the MetaTrader 4. You have MetaTrader 4 on your on your phone to do the push notifications. So let's say, for instance, you don't want to be in trades all day. You don't want to be in the market all day. You want to get your 50 pips and you want this girl to turn off. Now, I wish I had a way that you can do that remotely. I'll see if there's something we can come up with, but right now you have to physically do it. I want to get us to the point where you're not in the market all day with trades, that you're gathering your trades, you're gathering your pips, and you let the assistant rest. Some people like to run it all week because there's a lot of trades and a lot of pips that can be gathered. And you may lose a trade. Uh-oh, I'm finna hit this thing. Come on, girl. Sorry, y'all. What I see here is what's on my live account as well. So that's why I'm kind of feeling excited. But you can decide how you want to use this and the time frame you want it to run. You can have it run just the London session. You can run it just the London and the New York session. And then after that, have it to cut off. And you just basically find out what those times are. So 2300 is like 4 o'clock Central Time, right before the market switches over to a new day. If that answered your question, Mimi.
Yeah, what time is noon Central?
Noon is 20.
20 is gonna be noon.
Yes, will be, yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right, David, you had a question?
Yeah, I just forgot the folder to save the new trading assistant in the MT4, like to overwrite the old one.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll repost it up in the Telegram.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, so you can download it. Any other questions on the assistant?
Yeah, this is Celeste.
Hey, Celeste.
I was at choir rehearsal, so I didn't hear everything, but I did see that there was a new assistant posted up in the group. Should we be downloading that?
Yes, the latest one is the one you should be downloading because the other ones does not have all these features.
And so I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Is this the setup that you're using?
This is my current setup. This is what you guys are seeing right now on the screen. This is what you see with 22 pips right now currently going. Is this setup right here.
Okay. And how quick are you going to try to post that video tonight or?
Yeah. Once it renders, I'll put it up tonight so everyone can watch it pretty quick.
Okay. And do you suggest that we do start off with just doing the London and New York, or I know you're going to do all?
Yeah, I would say start with the London and New York, just because that's the most moving market. Be careful with the New York. New York can be a little tricky sometimes, so you guys kind of have to get a feel for it. Remember, this still is a trading device, and it is subject to getting losses. So don't overuse it. I'm kind of doing it because I want to see some things that are going to happen here. Hold on, y'all, for a second. Let me check this GU. She looked like she's trying to run into, yeah. All right, hold on. All right, I'm back. I'll put this back up again. So, yes, you can do that. Something just happened. I don't know what just happened. Let me take this profit, y'all. Sorry, hold on. taking it on my real account. That 22 looks like, don't that look like 25 to y'all?
Look close enough.
I look close enough for me. She done stayed up behind there a little too long for me. So I'll let her run it on the demo, but I'm taking my money on the real. Sorry. All right, back to what we're talking about. Any more questions?
Hey, Stan.
Yes.
Hey, what's up? One thing about a computer, when I go to settings, I don't have expert advisors on mine.
Expert, right? Because you don't. The only way you don't have expert advisors, your assistant is not up. Do you have a little smiley face in the corner?
Yes.
It's there, and if you right click, you don't see expert advisor.
See if you right click it. You see expert advisor? No, we don't see it.
All right, so if you have the smiley face, you right click, you don't have it right there, expert advisor. Right up on the objects list.
Hold on, let me see. Look up here. Let me see. Right there. That's no, is that?
But we're scheduled to get together anyway, guys, right?
What's that now?
We're scheduled to get together after this, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna do a quick check on that. So let me finish asking these questions, but we'll definitely hook up.
All right, I appreciate it. So I'll stay on, all right?
All right, cool.
All right.
Any other questions, guys?
Hey, Stan, did you suggest what pairs we should put it on? I know we talked about.
I'm a GBP lover, so I can't give y'all any other suggestions than what I do. I'm a GBP. But if you are not going to use all the GBPs, I have definitely been liking GA, and I have been liking GU.
Okay, because I'm just going to do it on 2.
Yeah, so those are ones I like if I had to pick out of the GBP pairs, would have been those.
Okay, and do that just for the London and test it out tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, thank you so much, Stan.
All right. Now, the only thing about that, guys, when you try to do just a slotted time frame and you're trading in the hour window, you may or may not capture a lot of trades. It's because sometimes the trades could trigger in the Asian session and just continue on in the London, and you may miss them. Kind of like this right here. This was a prime example. This trade right here, this was the trigger, but it triggered in what? The Asian session. It went all through the London. You never had another opportunity to enter the trade because of the hour window. So that's the downside of slotting just a particular time frame. You may miss the entry because you're only doing a particular session. Not always, but you may run into that. This is a prime example. This trade right here is literally the trade that will put you in. Semaphore, yes. Thumbs down, yes, but it would not put you in until this money line flashed burgundy. Soon as this line flashed burgundy, boom, it would have put you in that trade. But this was in the Asian session, and your money would have made right here, all up in the pre-London right here, this candle here. Here's one thing I'm gonna tell you guys: do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. What am I talking about? When y'all look at this right here and say, ooh, why we didn't just run signal to signal? I ain't did it yet. And I've been trying to do it with a demo account. Somehow that thing just does not allow it to happen. It looks cute here, but those settings, thumbs up popped up, semaphore was over here first, then a thumbs kind of showed and disappeared. So you would have put out this trade way over here. And then, you know what? It formed lower lows and then ended up right here. So that's why we concluded, take your 25 pips, get these 50, let's level up. Use the assistant to assist you and level up. Don't use the assistant to completely do all the work for you and you don't take any trades. That's just my suggestion, because what will happen is this, and I'm gonna tell y'all what will happen. Why the assistant lose these trades? Why the assistant ain't winning? Why the assistant? Why the assistant? Why the assistant? And then I go say, well, are you doing any trades personally? No, I ain't got time. So I know how we are. Don't put that burden on the assistant to do all of the lifting. I want you guys to do a little bit of trading as well. Help the assistant with getting your 50 pip goal for the day, but use it as assistant. All right, any more questions?
Now, with what you just said, that the setup might happen in the Asian session, is there any point in having the time only, have the system run only in the London session if the setups
Nope.
happen?
That's why I personally
Keeping it on.
will turn it off.
The time, right.
My restriction will turn off. I don't want to have it because I want it to run all day.
Right.
I want it because I want to not miss opportunities.
The setup, right.
That's correct.
All right, that makes sense.
And since there are not that many triple, like the semaphore, thumbs down, and the arrow, it's not like we're gonna be putting a lot of trades.
No,
right?
That's the good thing about trading the hour window is that you're typically not put in a lot of trades because these are higher time frames. So that's why I'm willing to do that. I would say try it with one pair and remove the time restriction.
Okay.
Don't do 2 and 3 trades. Don't do 2 and 3 pairs and do no time restriction. Just run one pair. And you will probably get into about 2 to 3, possibly 4 trades in a particular day. And hopefully you can win, you want to win 3 out of the 4 so that I take break even. I just don't want to lose 3 and only win 1. So, so then we got to do some tweaking. But okay, I would do 1 and just remove the restriction.
Okay, Stan. So the 1 hour is the default time frame now, or do I have a choice?
You have a choice. Absolutely, I have a choice. Everyone wanted to know what I was doing, so I'm just talking about what I've been doing. But
so where on here is that? Where is that on your settings?
No, it's not the settings. It's when you pull it up on your MetaTrader 4. Is what time frame are you opening it up? So whatever time frame you open this up, it's going to start looking for those conditions in that time frame. So be careful because I had someone. We were setting his stuff up, and we were in the 15-minute window, and it triggered a trade on the conditions, and I was like, oh, close that trade, because it's trading it out of the 15-minute window. And he was like, no, let it run. We're up a few pips. And you already know what the end result was not good, because it was trading in a more sensitive time, and it did not perform well in the 15-minute. I have tried personally, I'm just going to tell y'all my personal. I've tried the 5, I've tried the 15, I've tried the 30. I like the hour best. I have won most of my trades in the 1 hour window. And I'll leave it at that. This was recorded. So if you do any lower time frame that it does not work, I'm saying I've tested them all. There might be something I'm missing, but I definitely seen it. Even with running the demo accounts more than I ran. Oh man, I should stay in the trade. Running the demo accounts more than my live accounts is that the 1 hour, and it's less stressful because, the lower time frames, guys, it had me in so many trades. It was exhausting, even my demo account. So if you're in lower time frames, it's gonna put you in these conditions a lot, because they're gonna form a lot in the smaller time frames than they will in the higher time frame. That's why I resulted to the 1 hour window. As far as the assistant is concerned, manual trading, I'm still trading in the 5 and the 15-minute window because I'm manually doing it.
Hey Stan, this is Anissa. If we, I understood what you're saying about having the 1 pair and use the time restrictions to use it as false.
Mm-hmm.
If we go to 2 pairs, should we change that back to true?
Yeah, you could do true, but then just change the time. So put the chart, say, okay, don't start looking for any trades till a certain time, and then I want you to cut it off at a certain time.
Okay.
So you could do that as well.
Okay, thank you.
So let me give you all an example. I typically don't even, when the market opens up here, I don't even, because the spread is so bad. So I don't want it to even start looking till about 7 o'clock. So I would, if it was me, this condition would start at 2 o'clock, boom. Then if I wanted to, I don't want it to go into the later part of the New York. If I can't find nothing from here to here, then shoot, this trade ain't gonna happen anyway. That's a lot of time. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 hours for it to find a good trade. If it doesn't, it's okay. So then I would put that at 20. So if I was going to use a condition, using a time restriction so that I don't get caught busy and I ain't got time to go home and I'm away from the computer and oh Lord, the swap is about to happen. It's going to catch all these spreads and all of that. Then just do it 2 o'clock, Asian session open, last trade at 12, the 20. So that's an option.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
In your reference to chart time, is the far right on the particular chart, is that time accurate?
Right here, down at the bottom. This is chart times right here. At the bottom of your MT4 is the chart time.
Got it.
All right, any other questions? Look at that thing.
Yes, I have a question, Stan.
All right, go for it.
Suppose you have a assistant on GPU and you also want to take a trade on GPU yourself. So what you should do?
You can actually trade on top of your assistant if your account can handle it. Now, here's the problem with that. You can't change the time frame. You can't go, okay, the assistant took the trade in the 1 hour window. Now I'm going to drop it down to the 5. Remember, it doesn't know what time. It doesn't know I'm only trading the hour window. It's trading what it sees. So if you drop down the 5-minute window and there's a condition that you have set on your settings, it's going to take that trade as well. So now you're in 3 trades.
So it's better when this assistant is on, just don't bother trading yourself?
That, or you need to trade on a different device, trade from your phone. Look at all the conditions on your still, but enter those trades through your phone or some other device. But if you change it, it's going to, if those conditions are there, it's going to take those trades.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can actually run the assistant on 2 different accounts, or can you? Because the key in the
well, if you say 2 different accounts.
Let's say you open 2 live accounts with the same broker. You can't use, assuming somebody's trying to do the 40-day, let's say the 40-day challenge. Mm-hmm. They want to have 1 account for manual trading and 1 account for the assistant. To not mix those 2 accounts, that wouldn't necessarily work.
Well, the license key is based on the account number.
Right.
Okay. So let's say you wanted to open up, if I'm understanding you correctly.
Second account, one
with
for
the same account number?
It's probably two different ones.
See, if it has a different account number, the license key is only for 1 account.
Right. Okay. So if somebody wanted to do the regular thumbs up, thumbs down system and the assistant, they will have to have 2 different keys.
Yes. I am coming up with some program, something to accommodate that. Have not figured it out yet because some people have the assistant and some people have the manual. So I just need to check with a couple of situations here. If a person has both the assistant and the manual, we may make it to where we give 2 different keys so a person can allow the assistant to just trade, and then they have another key where they can trade manually, so they don't have to be fighting the assistant. So I'm working something out on that.
Cool.
All right, guys, any more questions? That is the absolute longest 20 pip Looking for 4 pips. Jeez. That is crazy. How long that thing is taking.
So why won't you just take your 21 pips?
This is the demo, so I'm gonna let it run. I already took my 22.
Okay.
Yeah, I took my 22 for real. This is my demo. This thing run to China. This is how I do all the testing. So, when I see it, I take mine. That was way too long. I'm out that trade. So this is what another thing I use, guys, is call levels. Okay, so let's say, for instance, you guys enter a trade and your take profit is at 25. What I do on my phone is a app. It's called Call Levels. All right, Call Levels. Download that on your phone. You should have your assistant should be set up to where you go to tools, go to options. It should be, this device should be turned on. I don't have it turned on the demo because I have it on the live, so I don't want both of them triggering. So if you check this box, you need to go to your cell phone and up under, I think Android has one, and then your Apple has a different settings. What you're looking for is your the Meta Quotes ID number. You put that in there, click test, and it will, everything that happens, if a trade is triggered, if it's not triggered, it will, if it closes out and profits, it's almost like a push notification to let you know what's going on with your trades, especially if you're away from the computer. Okay, so let's say the system triggered you in a trade. It's going to send you a push notification on your phone. Okay, the system just put me into GJ. So what I would do is I'm looking at the settings. It gives you the time that it entered and everything. So I would go on my call level, and then I would look for it to, I'll set, okay, my take profit is 25 pips. When it gets to 15 pips, I want the call level to send me a notification that 15 pips of my 25 is already been hit. Well, why do you think I'm doing that? Because I might be okay with 15 pips. I don't have to go to 25. I'm trying to get 50 pips. So I use the call level as another identifier, which is a halfway point to the 25, or not really halfway, but close to half or a little bit over half of the pips that I'm looking for. And then I monitor it. And I can make a decision of whether I want to take 15 pips, 16, 17, 18, 19, or whatever it may be. It's not 25 or nothing with me. This is real money, and please don't treat the assistant like it's an all or nothing. Well, it didn't hit my 25 pips. I'm staying in so I can get these 3 extra pips. Y'all already know what could happen. You could be 25 in the negative when you had it. Remember, the challenge is the 50 pips a day. You do not have to have it to hit your 25 pips. You want it to give you positive pips so you can hit your goal. Whether it's 10 pips, 12 pips, 15 pips, there no one's going to tell you you should have let that run to 25 when you took positive pips. This is your money. Use the call levels to help you out, though. And again, it's call levels. It's on Android as well as on iPhone. Hopefully that makes sense. And that didn't confuse y'all. A call level simply is alert me when price hits a certain number. And so you can find out what 15 pips is by simply, when you enter a trade, you just, once you do that, slide the number, and those last numbers to the far right is the numbers that you're looking for. So if that's 15 pips right here, 15.3 in this particular trade, if we had entered where we entered, I would go to call level and says, send me a text when price reaches 1.28305. I know that that's 15 pips of profit from where I had entered. Then I'm going to now go look at the market and say, okay, am I cool with 15 pips? Is the market pushing? Is it stalling? Okay, I'm out of here. I'm busy. I don't have time for it. I'm going to take my pips and look for the assistance and find me another trade.
Hey, Stan.
Yes.
I'm just looking at these settings. So you're not doing the trailing stop?
No, the reason why I'm not doing any trails is because they have not held. Trails don't hold unless you up in big pips, like 30, 40, 50 pips. Then you do like a 20, 25 pip trail. But these 10 pip trails, that's just the way. You might as well just close the trade out because it's going to come and get it. It's coming to get it.
Okay. So
that's why I don't even do it. Now you can do this. Y'all can do the whole. Now this is what you can do. If you want 25 pips to run and get it, and that, you know, sometimes the market will push and give you them 25 pips. You can do this without doing the call levels. You could do the one-time move right here. It's called the profit points. You want it to move. Well, if you could say at 150 points, if the market gets here, move it one time to this here and lock that in. So what you have to do though, you have to, well, it's a little tricky because if you're doing 25 as your take profit, and you want to give it room to move to this 25, I have to do a different video for that. But I can show you how to do that as well with the profit, the one-time move. And what that does is that just locks in a certain amount of pips once it makes the move. I'm just saying, especially in the hour window with all of the pullback, it just doesn't hold to continue to your 25 pip take profit. So, any other questions, guys? We're at the top of the hour. I wanted to spend as much time on the assistant because I want people to see the benefits of it. I want you to experience the benefits of it. I do not want you over leveraging your accounts with this. Do not use this as a lottery ticket. This should not blow out anybody's account. The system should never blow out a person's account. When I'm hearing people say my account is blown, that's not making sense to me. Unless you were one, a low account, even if you start as little as $100, $100 account should not be in should not have 5 pairs up. You cannot handle it. Y'all stop writing on my board. So when I hear people saying I blew my account out with the assistant or the system blew it out, automatically it tells me that you are over leveraged. This is not a quick get rich quick system. These are trades that, okay, let me just say it this way. And this is the team, so I'm glad I'm recording this. And I'll say this with love in my heart. You're not taking these trades. You're not up in the market. You're not analyzing. You're not doing anything. Something is doing it for you. Don't try to hit the lottery so fast. This is probably could be a really good long-term retirement program for people. If you treated this like you did a piece of you putting some money in some type, I don't want to use savings because that stinks, or what they call it, an RA. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You will sit there and let that thing just do what it's gonna do. And in 12 months, I'm looking to make this much. Y'all got the assistant, and if it don't make nothing in a week, it's like, what's wrong with the assistant? She's losing because you over leverage. Let this thing run, and you're gonna be impressed with it over the course over a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, because these are trades that you are not have to take. It's gonna win. It's gonna lose. It's gonna win, win, win. It's gonna lose, lose. It's gonna win, 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 win. It's gonna go through that motion. But your goal is, at the end of 30 days, what did this produce? Is my account in the positive or is it in the negative? That's how you really judge it. And I don't want to try to downplay it, but I don't want you guys to have this crazy high expectations when we're personally are not doing this ourselves in the market, and the assistant is, giving you just that, an assistance to help you make money without you taking the trades. That's what it's for. It is something that a person should be proud of. Hopefully, according to the work, and we're gonna always be tweaking it. So mind you, this is my baby. So I will be tweaking and getting it right. So I know some of you saying, well, I wanted to at least make enough from what I'm paying for it. I believe in the course of 30 days, it should. But if you over leverage and you're trying to get it so fast and you're trying to base everything off of that level up chart, don't use the assistant as the level up chart. That's a manual system. That is not based on this level up chart. All right, guys, let me be clear on that. The assistant is not connected to the level up chart. That is a manual trading experience, not the assistant. Because really the best time to trade the assistant should be 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Well, that just throws off the level up chart, but you still can get a good number of pips. But don't base it on the numbers where you think you should be on that level up chart, because that's more manual trading. Because I can trade 5-6 days a week manually because I can find 10, 15, 20 pips in a 24-hour period when I have time to get into the market and trade. So the two, they're not equal when it comes to the level up chart. So hopefully that's clear. Any other questions, guys? If not, I'm gonna bring this to an end so I can get some more of time with the programmers to make sure that what we have is working and all of the updates that we're making will, be working pretty good. So
I got the time zone wrong again, Stan. I'll listen to the recording.
It's all good, man. I'll post it up here as soon as we get off.
Okay, the recording be up as soon as you finish?
Yeah, as soon as I'm done, as soon as we end it, I'm gonna let it render and then I'm gonna post it and then it'll be in the room tonight. Hopefully within an hour or two.
Okay, yeah, because I wasn't able to make it. Okay, then, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, thank y'all for jumping on. This thing is going to be powerful. I appreciate all of your services and being a part of the community. We got a lot of other cool things that'll be rolling out here next week. This is the December month, so hopefully you guys can have positive experience with the assistant along with you manually trading. We will continue to do the live tradings, but what I'm going to do though on those is I'm going to probably focus more on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays for the live trading as well. I'll post those times up. So it's going to be probably closer to the London Open. I won't put us through that dead. We were just sitting up here twiddling our thumbs for a few hours, even in the 5-minute one, because nothing was really presenting itself. So we're going to wait for some of the market moves to happen. So I'll post that up here was that Tuesday? Yeah, so tomorrow night I'll have a post on when I'm going to be doing the live, those who want to trade manually live. So we will be doing that as well. All right, guys, if we don't have any more questions, thank y'all for jumping on. Hopefully this was beneficial to you, but this recording will be posted. Let me go ahead and end this recording now. All right. And hold on, let me make sure I end it. There we go.